Featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I just had a new intro. That was very cool to see. Thanks for Renee for putting that up. So today is July 18th, 2024. I'm spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. Have you guys had a heck of a week? I sure have. Let me say hi to people and then I'll tell you about my week. It has really been something else. Hi, Sherry Craft. Sherry, that is such a great question about opting out of all contracts and beaming up now. And I'm going to get back to that. Hi, Dee Dee. I am okay after those bad storms that we had in Illinois and Wisconsin and probably other places. It was intense, and I will tell you about that. Thanks, Dee Dee. I hope you were well. Hi, Sarah Stone. Hi, Karen. I'm glad we're safe too. It was an unbelievable week. That's all I could say. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Glow. Marilyn Wiedemann. What a great question. I'm going to come back to that. Why we should keep track of our dreams. They're so weird. It make no sense. Oh, they do to a therapist. What is it that you don't want to look at? Hi, Wanda. Hi, Dee Dee. Let's see. Oh, your daughter's having surgery tomorrow. Yes. Well, we're gonna. Yes, tomorrow is actually a better day. The energy gets a little better. Actually, it does. Karen, hi. What's wrong with this energy? I'm going to talk about it. Hi, Vicky, my beautiful friend. Hi, Jen Tran. How are you, honey? Hi, Kim Ann. Hi, Marge Webb. You loved my sunflower video? Thank you. Hint here, I am not a farmer. I live on a farm, but I am no farmer. Clearly, I cannot tell the difference between a weed, a sunflower, corn. Who knew? I really don't have that gene. And you'd think I would. My grandfather was an incredible farmer, but I just missed that gene somewhere. Just went away. Hi, Linda. Hi, Pam. Hi, Gayla. Hi, Ann. Hi, Lori Counts. She says hi to you too, Renee. Hi, Cheryl and Laura Crum from Stormy, New Jersey. No power for 2 days. Yikes. Wow. That's hard when you have no power. We have a generator, but it's still rough, right? Hi, Rhonda from Australia. Hi there. Hi, Lori LeClaire. Oh, you look beautiful too, Lori. Thank you, sweetheart. Hi, Angela and Marilyn and Rose Oliver. Hi, everybody. Namaste, Doreen. Oh, my gosh. Hi, Dolly. I could keep going on, but I think what I'll do, and we have a lot to get to today. There's been a lot going on. So I'll start with on Sunday, started packing up our kitchen area along with everything else in the house because we officially started phase 2 on Monday, the day of that giant conjunction with Mars and Uranus and the Death Star Al Ghul. What a day to do a demolition, right? And it, as you know, that energy was very intense. There was an assassination attempt. This was a very intense energy, and I am going to talk about the energy coming up. But the day that we started our demolition happened to be that Monday with that same intense energy. So they started the demolition, and if anybody's ever been in a home remodel, it's very discombobulating. And so imagine wiping out everything. And because Don and I live on a farm in the middle of nowhere, they had to build us a kitchen. So they had to take all of the parts that they didn't demolish and make us a little kitchen because it's not like I can, call and have something delivered, or we can't really just jump out and go to a restaurant because there really is nothing out here. So it makes it challenge. Everything's a challenge when it comes to a remodel. So they built us this little kitchen and things were not really attached yet. And this was on Monday, and I was getting ready for the show that I was going to do with James, show I do every Monday, Life After Death and Beyond with James. And I was really excited about doing the show. And I went up to get dressed for the show, and we kept hearing these sirens go off, these sirens. Now, where I live, I've always heard that there would be tornado sirens, but I really didn't, it had never happened before. I can't tell you how many sessions I've had or shows I've done during tornado warnings. I have many, many, many. But this was a little different. The sirens were going off. My phone is blowing up. We're about to have 100-mile-an-hour winds. get into your basement. I'm like, what? But I have to do a show, I mean, it was seriously, unlike the show has to go on, I could not, it was just too dangerous. So I couldn't be there. And I called James to tell him. And as I was talking to James, my phone starts going into this blast of emergency, get down, get into your basement, basically, which was really a strange thing to hear on the phone. And so Don and I, and we took our dogs, of course, down into the basement. And the dogs, Charlotte always does really well. Otis has trouble with all this change. You know how some animals can go right to the change and they can deal with things real quickly? Otis is not that one. So he had a lot of trouble with just trying to understand what was happening now, because everything had changed because we're in this demolition and now we have to go down into the basement. So we were in the basement for over an hour. And it was not a fun thing, actually. So anyway, just it's all of that to say, that's why I missed the show on Monday. Thank you for all of your nice comments and wishes and prayers for me. They were very appreciated. So thank you very much. So I am going to go into the astrology, and I do want to say I was very sad to hear today that Bob Newhart passed away. And I did hear that Lou Dobbs passed away. Thank you for letting me know that. I just found that out. But I remember Bob Newhart very, very well. And I had a really fun experience with Bob Newhart when I was 14 years old. I went to see his show in Los Angeles. It was filmed in the Valley, actually, at CBS in the Valley. I don't think it's there anymore. It's basically in LA now, but it was at that time, it was filmed off of Ventura Boulevard. And so I went with my friends, and some parent must have taken us and dropped us off. And we're in the audience of the live Bob Newhart show. And the guy comes out to say hello to the audience. And he said, I will give 2 tickets to anybody that can guess Bob Newhart's birth date. And you have to imagine, there was no Google, there was no phone, there was no computer, there was no internet. This was a long time ago. And I don't know what happened, but it went right into my mind. And I raised my hand, and he goes, yes, I'm 14. And I go, September 5th. Well, how could I have possibly known that? And he goes, did you cheat? And I'm like, did I cheat? I barely knew who Bob Newhart was. So no, I didn't cheat. And they had to give me these 2 tickets for dinner at a restaurant down the street. And I think they really didn't want to do that because I was so young, but they did do that. Probably after that, they changed the rules, so you had to be 18 or over to go. But anyway, that's what I think of when I think of Bob Newhart. And I just loved him. So anyway, well, let's get on to, I'm going to talk about the astrology, and then we're going to talk about the difference between a ghost and a spirit, because I get asked that a lot of times. So welcome to anybody new here, because I'm going to get into the astrology now. And this is a really interesting period of time. Yes, the energy is going to stay somewhat intense until the end, pretty much the end of July. However, having said that, for tomorrow, it should be lighter. The energy should be a bit lighter for tomorrow. But on where I really wanted to talk about today is the full moon that we have upcoming on July 21st, and that is Sunday, the Sunday full moon. And this is a full moon that's going to be actually more auspicious than usual because it coincides with, in the Vedic tradition, of Guru Purnima. And that means it's a lunar day that's celebrated every year for high spiritual energy. So this full moon will heighten sensitivity, like all full moons do. So when people have been saying, I feel more sensitive. This is an emotional time in general with this kind of energy. But when you add that full moon, it will also bring out a little more heightened sensitivity. But this one activates spiritual energy. So this is a very captivating full moon. It's a very special full moon. And it's in Vedic astrology, it is in Capricorn, and it's in the nakshatra Uttarashada, which I don't think I said that right, but it means a time to pause, and it means a time to look at all of your blessings and look at your achievements in life, like especially with being grateful and with having an attitude of look at all the blessings that whatever they happen to be, because this is a very auspicious full moon, and it helps manifest like the spirit of matter. So it's a deep full moon here. And also it's a wonderful time to pause, as I said, for blessings and look at achievements. And it's also a very good time to affirm your deepest dreams and your best intentions. So also this moon is sometimes called the thunder moon. And the thunder, when they call it the thunder moon, it means potent lunar energy. So they say that this full moon brings thunderstorms. Oh, great, because we've had nothing but thunderstorms. But it also brings intense power. Now, they call this the buck moon, and that signifies the new antlers that emerge on the foreheads of these deers around this time, of the deer bucks. And antlers, if you ever see them, they're actually a spiritual symbol of new growth, new expansion, new strength, new determination. Now, also at the same time, it's the symbolism here is really compelling, because at the same time, it conjuncts this full moon on this Sunday, conjuncts Pluto. And Pluto is death and rebirth. It really means to deeply transform. So this full moon will bring a lot of transformation into your life. It can you can encounter a lot of emotions and emotions around people. So you really want to watch getting hijacked, if you will, by negative people or controlling people. And we all have those people we've known. I mean, please. So you really want to watch that. And the most important time before this, I should say the most powerful time, is the day before. So really that Saturday, this Saturday, the 20th, will be a really powerful day to harness this full moon. And it's a great time to begin a new spiritual practice. It's a great time to honor yourself through all of this. It's an excellent time to be out in nature. So it's a very, very important time, because this full moon brings what I think we really need here, divine light. And it brings divine light within and without. So this moon can bring, it's complicated because of the Pluto aspect, which could be blowing up things, but it helps bring in calming energy inside of us. So think of it like that it's a very special thing. So put your crystals out. Put your crystals out Saturday, Sunday. Would be a great way to do that. And, meditate, do some meditation. Great time for that, for all of that. And we'll talk. Well, I won't be here next week. I'll be in Chicago with James next week. I was going to say we'll talk about the rest of the energies next week, but we'll have to do that the following week. But next week, if you are in Chicago, next Thursday, a week from tonight, James and I will be at the Gordon Center Theater in Lake Forest, Illinois. And I'm pretty sure James is going to be doing a morning show that morning on Thursday. So on the 25th. And as soon as we get any more information about that, I'll let everybody know. So it's going to be a really great event. If you can join us in person, James and I are going to be doing this in person. So we're excited to do it. We have a meet and greet, and it's going to be really fun. So if you're in Chicago, please join us. It's going to be great. We're going to do a lot of special readings that night. And it's always fun to work with James. For me, it's like playing tennis. It's like, woo, here's one for you. Here's one for you. It's just really fun going back and forth with that. I just love it. So, okay, let's talk about, if you like this, help grow the channel, hit like and share. I'm supposed to say that. There you go. Like and share. There you go. I appreciate this. So let's talk. The reason I wanted to talk about the difference between a ghost and a spirit is I've had a lot of new people that have been coming watching the show, and they'll send me these private emails and they'll say, I just don't know how to answer this, Kellee, or how to ask this, but what is the difference? Like I'd like to see you as a medium, but are you talking to ghosts? Are you talking to spirit? I don't know the difference. So I've had a few people ask me that. And I want to explain that. So there is a difference between a ghost that, and I'll talk about that, and then a spirit that I'm communing with from the other side. So the term ghost actually is like an earthbound spirit, or it's somebody who's passed away that, has not, and not everybody goes to the light. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that we end up on the other side, but there are lots of different ways to cross into the other side, I should say. But they tend to stay here, so they pass, and they either don't want to believe they're dead. Some of them. So a ghost is something that stays in an energetic area, that stays there. So they can be individuals, maybe that they had a violent death, or maybe they, had a sudden or some tragic passing, or some of these people are really, let's say they just want justice, or let's say, I've seen this a lot with personality disorders. That's what I usually consider when I see a ghost. It's somebody who's just was, very difficult in life, and has the idea that they're just going to stay here and whatever. And so they're usually very determined personalities. That's, I guess, a good way to say it. So they're not quite ready to leave. Now, I have seen them many, many times. I'm always stunned when I do. And there's a big difference between seeing a ghost, literally, or seeing a spirit, because a spirit has a completely different energy. A ghost energy is sometimes you just get a vision of them, or you see them, they start wreaking havoc on things, like they move things around, or I don't know, they just, you can feel the energy. It's kind of like kind of a yucky energy around them. And I have seen many of them where it's that old thing, go to the light. If you're a medium, at this point, you're not going to waste your energy going, go to the light, because what happens is they will always ultimately go to the light. Ultimately, they have guides around trying to get them, wrangle them in, and they'll get them. You don't have to worry. But I remember initially when I started seeing these, the old thing was, oh, go to the light, Carol Ann, go to the light. And I would try to be sending them to the light. It's a waste of energy. And I wouldn't ever get caught up in this now. What I would do is I watch it and go, that is something else. Kind of like I watch a personality disorder. Oh, here we go. Okay. There we go. But I have seen them where they've lost loved ones, where they don't want to leave. I've seen them where they were scared. They were scared because they had done some bad things in their life. I mean, I've seen all kinds of things like that. So that's a difference between a ghost. A ghost is, they just tend to stay in a certain area. And it's the state of mind, maybe, that they actually have an understanding that they've even passed over, and they might struggle with that. So they're usually generally drawn to be troubled souls. I guess that's, how I would say this. But have I experienced it? Yes, many, many, many times. So spirits are positive light beings, and that's the soul of a person or an animal that has they're here. They can visit the physical plane. So how do they do that? They lower their vibration, and as a medium, I raise my vibration. So that's how that connection works. And they have the ability to go back and forth from the dimension that they're on to ours here on the earth plane. And that, again, they lower their vibration. So as a person crosses over into the spiritual plane, they still retain their personality, their form, their identity. And it always will come across in a reading when we do readings. And so you have to remember, in the living, we reside here, and in the spiritual realm, that's where they reside. And we're just divided by a very thin, I would say, a very thin wall here, very thin. And it feels to me like it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And I don't know if all the readings out there for mediums, but it feels to me much easier. Now, I've been doing this a long time, but it just feels easier. There's an ease to it for me now. And I always feel that the souls on the other side are just, they are just waiting to talk to people. They come in, they're really excited to talk to people. So anyway, so there's a variety of ways that a spirit might use to deliver a message from me or to somebody else, to you guys. So that might be through your dreams, and dreams are visitations. So that's one way. They may, leave us signs here and there, but and they often do. Sometimes you'll hear a voice that shouts their name out. But just know that your loved ones, if you are thinking of them, they're always going to be there for you. Always, always. So that's pretty much the difference between a spirit, that as I work with as a medium, and a ghost. And ghosts are, listen, they were very odd in life. They're odd there, but I promise that we will be on the other side at some determined date. They will get there. So I hope that helps with that question. So Marilyn Wiederman says, why should we keep track of our dreams? And I'll tell you why, Marilyn. It's really important because it could be a message that you are getting for later on. It might be, a loved one. It might be an unconscious thing coming up that we need to look at. So I love to do dreams and interpret dreams. So everything does have a meaning to it. So definitely keep track of your dreams. If the weirder they are, then make sure you write them down, because there will be some connect at some point for you with that. I think dream work is so important. So Sherry Kraft says, can we just opt out of all of our contracts? People really do big mistakes and they cannot handle the pain and suffering. That's true. And if we did this to ourselves, why can't we just opt out? So all you do is cry. I think what happens if you exit before your time, it creates an incredible ripple effect going out. So can you opt out of your contracts? Yes, but I'm not a big fan of that, but I understand what you're saying, honey. And it's hard to suffer. It is hard to suffer like that. So I understand here, but anyway, I've got a lot of questions I want to get to. And this first question, I love this question. This is from Elle. So Elle, if you're listening, I know you're a big fan. And if you're listening, her question is this. She said, I've heard you and James discuss that cities have karma, and that I thought it would be interesting to hear you be more specific on one of my shows. She said, I love cities so much, and I really enjoy the experience of taking in the distinct energy that cities have unto themselves. And I'm curious how this works. And then she says, also randomly, how would this apply to places like Pompeii, which suffered a brutal end? Which is very true. So cities have certain energy. Cities have certain energy that people are drawn to. And it's designed for the souls to learn something from that, within that energy field. So for instance, I was born and raised in Los Angeles. And at the time, I have always loved the energy in Los Angeles. I mean, it's what I knew. It's what I grew up with. Now, why would I choose Los Angeles we choose our cities before we're born. We choose our families, where the family's going to be. And mine happened to be in Los Angeles, where I was literally stayed until 5 years. Now I'm on a farm. But so the energy of Los Angeles, while I was there and growing up, it helped me to understand that I could be anywhere, because if I could be in that LA energy, and it's fierce energy, not as fierce as New York. New York's a completely different animal. But in the LA energy, it did something. It broadened me. I understood so many things. So I understand why I was in the Los Angeles energy. Having said that, it took me 5 years to disconnect from that energy because the energy was so powerful. So every city has a different energy. Dawn is from Chicago, which I love the energy in Chicago. It's really probably my favorite town. I just love Chicago. The energy just feels alive and robust, and I don't know, and there's a gentleness and ease to it. I just love Chicago so much. So different than New York. It's so different from LA. I don't know how else to describe it, but I really love it. But Dawn is from Chicago. So when we would fly home from Chicago, or we would fly home anywhere, we would fly from back home from Wisconsin back to LA. The moment we would get close on that plane to coming into LA, Don would get in a bad mood. Every single time. The energy was just too much for him. He just didn't like it. So not every town is different energy. And that's why it's important that you guys, everybody tries different places that they're drawn to. You may be drawn to an energy of creativeness. Like my little brother Theo's in Europe right now, and he's certain places there, he goes to write. He's on tour, but he goes to write because the energy is so creative. My sister has a home on Tybee Island, Georgia, and it's so creative there. When she goes there, she feels alive. So certain parts of the world in your life will make you, help you feel alive. The energy in Hawaii is very different. So I love that on Earth we have these different energy pockets. So different energies have certain karmas to them too. Absolutely. Like Pompeii would have had a real contract, if you will. And that's the term I'll use for everybody who passed in the way they did during that period of time. There would have been a contract on that, that people would have passed that way. So yeah, it's a great question. And so, pay attention to different energies, because different cities have different energies with different karma to them. So I hope that helps. So I do hope that helps. Marie Bonetti, she says, thank you, Kellee. Is our son, who passed away on March 3rd, 2023, is he visiting us in our cabin when we are up there? Of course. I don't think you would miss that, Marie, for anything. He's showing me a boat too. So I don't know if this means he's on a boat, playing with a boat, likes the water. But yeah, he's definitely up there, honey. Definitely up there. Let me get you a card from Talking to Heaven from your son, because I love these cards. These are so much fun to use, the Talking to Heaven cards, which I think are just terrific. And hold on, let me get you a card here. Yikes. I am standing right next to you. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm standing right next to you. There you go. I'm going to make sure that you see that from your son. So yeah, he's with you. He's standing right next to you. And Vicki, I've got my cards out. I'm going to get a card for you, honey. Here you go. I watch over you every day, and your husband, Mike, loves you more than anything. He's always there watching over you. So Dawn Miscullen, she said, I'd love a reading, and her birthday is March 21. So March 21 is 2 of diamonds. And so your question is, will I find my forever love? I'm going to answer that with this. Yes. And I'm going to tell you why, Dawn. 2 of diamonds comes to couple up. And whenever anybody hears me say 2 of anything, they always come to couple up. So 2 of diamonds specifically does come to couple up. And I apologize. Last week when I did the destiny cards, I didn't say the 10s. I'm so sorry. I can't stand it when people do that and then they don't complete what they were supposed to. I couldn't believe I missed it. When I finished, Don said to me, you didn't do the 10s. I'm like, what? I'm so sorry. I think I got excited. So 10s, if you are a 10 of diamonds or a 10 of clubs or a 10 of spades or a 10 of hearts, 10s are always about working on themselves. It goes to another vibration. 10s go to another beginning on some level. It's a way of learning in a deeper form about themselves. So if you're a 10 of hearts, you really are looking everything about learning about emotions. If you're a 10 of clubs, you're here to really learn. Learn is everything. You want to learn, study, learn, and grow. It's so much fun. 10 of clubs loves to communicate with they've got such mind power, such brain power here. 10 of, let's see, diamonds, we call that the it's more than lucky, the card of the most blessings. We call that the blessing card because it's in the Jupiter line. And so it means that although life, in fact, with all 10s, life is going to be a struggle. However, it's designed, especially, and all 10 of diamonds too, designed to have certain blessings to it. And it's just it's a very powerful card too. And a 10 of spades, they take all of this in, but that is really a work card. I mean, you come to work. If you're a spade, you come to work. So anyway, I hope that helps. And Jen Tran says, I would love a reading. I need some words of encouragement to get you through your days. Okay. Well, you are a 9 of diamonds. Your birthday is July 6th. And 9 of diamonds. let's get you a message from your guides, okay? I'm still going to use James's card. Message from your guides. Here we go. Okay. Give without expectation, which is the funniest thing. I don't mean this to laugh, but in a bad way. 9 of diamonds actually means the giver. So here you go, sweetheart. I'm sorry about that. But some souls just come in to keep giving and giving and giving. So Debbie Dutton says, Kellee, on our last session together, you said I'd have a job in June. I'm happy to let you know I'll be starting this coming Monday. Yay. Being out of work for so long has made me a bit nervous. So here's the thing. You're going to start on Monday, right with the energy of that extraordinary full moon. Debbie, come on. That's a blessing right there. I would on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, I'd really be looking at the gratitude and the new road that your life is on, honey. I think it's going to be great for you. You're going to do just great. You're going to do just great. Michelle Cooper says, do I see her moving from Victoria to Old? I'm not for QLD in Australia. I'm not sure what that is, but let me just think for a second. Let me just go here. Okay, wait, 3/14, and your birthday is March 14. So I'm going to answer that like this. Oh my gosh, another 9 of diamonds. Oh my gosh. You know what? I bet you do move, because 9 of diamonds tend to have a lot of change in their life. And 9 of diamonds comes to complete many things. So I would think if you are ready to leave from Victoria, then you would move. If you're ready, then that would move. So I hope that helps. Maria Kinker. Hi, Maria. She says, my birthday is August 21. And now August 21 makes you a 5 of clubs. She said, will I eventually find peace again regarding my husband's passing? Or maybe I do not want to find peace because I miss him terribly. We were married for 60 years and had a wonderful relationship. Maria, I'm so sorry, honey. Let me get you a card from him. You know, when you've been with your soulmate for 60 years and you had a wonderful relationship, I mean, that, my goodness gracious, that's really hard. That's really hard. So will you find peace? I hope so. I hope you do. But I'm sure you miss him terribly. I mean, that's a huge one. Let me get you a card, honey. Oh, he says to tell you we are so connected. Let me see. I'm going to add a duh to that. 60 years. And it was a good marriage. That is amazing. I'm really, really happy to hear that for you. So Ellen Shelby says, what do I need to know from my spirits guides? And my birthday is 8/20, which makes you a 6 of clubs. 6 of clubs is all about speaking the truth. But it turns out I have the message from the guides. So let's see. Focus on the positive. Now that's something that I can say for all of us now, because, you know, these are some powerful times that we're in. Focus on the positive, of the positive things in your life. Because as the energies get more intense, and they will, you have to remember, you've got to use your mind to figure out other ways how to be, which means, like for me, if it gets a little too much, now what I do is I go straight for my music and I listen to music, and it just really immediately I stop, I get in a real peaceful place. I go out in nature. I look at my plants that are not weeds. Sometimes I look at the weeds and they have pretty flowers on them. You know, it's the damnedest thing. I play with my dogs. I sit on the swing. I do things like that. So I think it's going to be really important for people to be doing that. I do. So I hope all of that counts and is helpful for you. So let me see. Hold on a second. Let me look here. Oh, Patty Weeks, we missed you on Monday. Thank you, Patty. I so appreciate that. I'm just looking at these. Thank you for that. Okay, Barbara Bianconi. She says, 11/14, shall I pursue my book? Oh, Barbara, absolutely. 11/14 is a 6 of clubs again. And it's funny, you have a 10 of clubs and a queen of clubs. You must pursue that. Do you know how much club energy that is? That means that you would be in your head. You've got to put pen to paper, or however they say that now. Type away. Absolutely. Glow says, sunflowers are my late husband's sign. Oh, Glow, what a fabulous sign to have. I love that. That's fantastic. I love that. So that's fantastic. So, okay. Let's see. Jennifer Whitworth Yeldington says, help me understand if I am receiving a spiritual message from my daily appearance of a female hummingbird that stays appearing in my window each day. Oh, absolutely. And you're 1121, which makes you a queen of hearts. Oh, absolutely. And hummingbirds help us remember to have joy, help us to live with joy. So please remember that. Yes, that would be a message. Kim Ann says, speaking of dreams, Bob Newhart died today. Yes. And that made me think of when the Newhart show ended. And Bob woke up in the old Bob Newhart show bedroom and told his wife, Suzanne Plachette, that he had this crazy dream about being an innkeeper in New England. I forgot about that, Kim Ann. That was really clever. These people were very clever, weren't they? Oh my gosh. That's a great one. I do remember that. Thank you for sharing that. Boy, I love some of your thoughts. They're just amazing. Kim Ann says, when I did a renovation, I had a lot of activity in the house all of a sudden. You know, Kim Ann, I have to tell you something funny and tell this to everybody. It's pretty funny, but Don and I were in the kitchen right before the renovation, and we were talking about certain things that we had gone through. And it was a really great, deep conversation. And we were talking about Don's mother. And all of a sudden, the light above, I swear to God, starts shaking and going in and out and going in and out. I'm like, oh my God, Blanche, here we go, you know? So it was hysterical. Yeah, we get a lot of that. We do get a lot of that. Okay, Eric says, may I get a card, please, for my special needs son? He's bipolar, borderline personality disorder, ADHD, and more. That's a lot, Eric. That is a lot, honey. That is special needs for sure. So, and you are October 5th. So yes, of course, honey, I'm going to get you a card. October 5th is a 4 of diamonds with an 8 of hearts. So 4 diamonds is about responsibility and hard work. And with an 8 of hearts, it has to do with taking care of family. So let me get you a card from your guides here. Okay, sweetheart, here you go. Oh my God. Well, here we go. Accept struggles as lessons. And so during the struggle that you would be having, you know, these are lessons that you're learning. You're probably learning tolerance, peace, forgiveness, compassion, empathy, all of these things, because I'm sure you would get pulled in a big way here. You know, I'm sure that you would. That makes a lot of sense. Melissa says, for me, ghosts are mainly for hauntings or in scary movies or for Halloween. So my question is, why do ghosts only wear white like Casper? Let me tell you what, that's hilarious. So I have seen ghosts that were not wearing white. I have never seen one just wearing white, actually. I've never seen that. I've seen them wearing whatever clothes and whatever time period they passed in. I saw a woman, I'll never forget this, I looked out my window. I had a loft downtown Denver. I looked out the window and there was a woman in a gown from what I can best describe as the late 1890 or something, and maybe the year 1910. I don't know why I got that. And so they will dress in whatever their era was where they got stuck. And so you will see them however they got stuck. That's what they do. So there you go. Rose Oliver Lee, can I have a reading? And your birthday was July 8th. So July 8th is a 7 of diamonds. 7 of diamonds is all about changing the thoughts from negative to positive. And so all sevens have to take a spiritual road, but 7 of diamonds has to understand that in order to have success, because we call that the millionaire card, actually, you have to have the ability to see things through a spiritual lens. It's always about a spiritual lens here. Carla Bell says, the state of Wisconsin normally has 33 tornadoes in the summer. I did not know that. Over the entire state. By June 30th, we'd already had 33 tornadoes. Wow, Carla, thank you for that. It's something else, isn't it? Kim Mann says, Otis, as we say in the South, is highly nervous. Okay. In the South, they say some of the funniest things. I mean, hilarious things. I love this phrase, and I should not repeat it because it just sticks in my head sometimes. But my sister, who's in Tybee Island, Georgia, she'll say, "Well, I might could, I might could." She always cracks me up. I might could. Oh my God. So Debbie Clooney says, my little dog barks at nothing in the room all the time. Do you think she sees spirits? Yes. Yes. Cats are notorious for seeing things. I mean, really, cats are just phenomenal with that. So are dogs. Absolutely. They do that. Absolutely. So Redford Studio, Sandy Stunder, thank you. It's still there? Get out. So I know, Sandy, you and I are around the same age because I've seen you. So that is it. Thank you. I could not remember that name of that studio, and it's still there. I wonder what they're filming there, Sandy. So thank you for that. So you remember that studio. Oh my God. That's so great. Well, I did get the 2 tickets to remember where I got the tickets. I think my parents took the tickets that I had for dinner. I think so. So let's see. Wait a minute. Brenda Spinelli, she says, dream visits. I have been waiting for years for one. What am I doing wrong? And your birthday is 4/30, which makes you a 4 of clubs. So I'm thinking that you're talking about visitations from others. Sometimes, Brenda, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. What you do before you go to bed is you ask them to come and visit and then say you want to remember them. So for me, often what happens is all of a sudden I have to get up and go to the bathroom. Oh, or I'll remember, or I'll hear a noise outside, which actually that doesn't wake me up because nothing wakes me up. Usually I just have to get up and go to the bathroom. It's the damnedest thing. And I'll go, oh yeah, I just remembered that, whatever. So just think like that. Think like that. You will be able to. So Carl Voss says, thank you, Kelly, for letting me know about this full moon coming. I always go by what the moon is giving. Yeah, this is a very giving moon. And I'm glad you said that. It's a very powerful moon. We need, frankly, on Earth right now, some good, positive energy. So I think it is going to be a really important one. Coogan says, Kelly, can I please have a card from my late uncle? Yes, your late uncle. Here we go from the cards here. Don't be afraid. He says, don't be afraid. So I will tell you that when he passes, he's somebody that is watching over you. And he says, in other words, don't be afraid. Have adventures here. Don't be afraid here. Okay. Cindy Mayer says, Kelly, I would love a message. And you are August 17. So August 17 is a double 9 of clubs. 9 of clubs comes to complete things. All 9s come to complete things. And they're about communication. So 9 of clubs is somebody, often they come in as healers, and they usually have some big second act in their life. Like they might do one thing for a period of time, and the second act, they go into something a little different. So I hope that hurts. Wanda Man says, my birthday is Sunday the 21st. Yay. I mean, that's going to be a wonderful birthday. If you have a chance later, can you see if my late husband has anything to say? Well, let's see, Wanda. I think yes, he does have something to say here. I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. So please look for hearts. Anything red, look for hearts. That would be a big sign from him. Okay. I think that would be a really good one. Let's see. Vincy says, I have my ticket. Oh, good. You're going to join us. Yes. And Deborah Weaver says, everybody hit the like button. Thank you, Deborah. I so appreciate that. Oh my gosh. Rose Lee says, I have my crystals in my window. Fantastic. Lisa Zapp, hi from Brisbane, Australia. Hi there, Lisa. Oh my gosh. I love Brisbane. I was there with James actually a few years ago, and I loved it. I love a card, and your birthday is March 30th. So let's talk about March 30th. March 30th is a 6 of clubs. A lot of 6 of clubs today. 6 of clubs is about speaking their truth. And so let's see, you would have been in between the 2 eclipses that we had, because the first eclipse was the 28th, I think. I'm going to forget it, 27th. I think of March. Oh gosh, I can't remember exactly. But the second one was was April 8th. So your birthday would have been right in the middle. So I would say this, Lisa, that would make a big change for you this year. If your birthdays are coming up right now, and let's say your birthday, well, the first eclipse is going to be September 17th, and I'll be starting to talk about it in August, but September 17th is the first one, and the second one is October 2nd. So if your birthday, like mine, is right in that period of time, life will change. You'll go from this road to this road. That's what eclipses do. They are very powerful energy that lasts for months and months and months. So I think it's going to be a very interesting time. I think that it is going to be. So let's see. David says, hey, David Mustaine says, I had seen my grandfather standing in my doorway of my bedroom as a spirit less than a week after he passed. Now, David, that's amazing. Yes, that's a spirit. That's not a ghost. That's definitely a spirit. And often that first few days when they pass, often that happens. So that's amazing that you saw him standing in the doorway. Isn't that amazing? So I hope that brought you some comfort. It might have scared you. It might have been like, oh my God, but you got to see him. And when you see something like that, you cannot deny what you saw. Like you can't unsee that. You saw that. When my stepmother's father passed, she said it was the most unbelievable experience she had ever had. Her father died, and she was kind of standing in another room. And as she was standing in another room, down the hall, this giant energy ball, like bright orange energy ball, like ran right to her, stopped as if she were in the way. And she was like, oh my God. And she knew immediately it was her dad, and then kind of hovered and then took off. So it is amazing. It's amazing. Hi, Marge. Marge says, did I lose my dog recently? No, I did not. I know a lot of people that did, but I have not lost my two Otis and Charlotte. They are definitely still here. Natalie Pfeiffer says, a person is in transition. Sometimes you can see their spirit out of their body. Yes, that's very true. If you are with somebody who is very ill, or they're in a transitional state, yes, you can see the spirit, either sometimes already having left or right real close to that. It's so true. Oh my gosh. Carla Bell says, I have enjoyed having readings with you and with James, so I know it will be a wonderful experience. I will not be able to come to Chicago this time, but am looking forward to seeing you at All Souls Weekend in November. Why, thanks, Carla. That's so sweet. Yes, I will be a guest speaker at the All Souls Weekend in November with Jen Weigel, and there's a bunch of really special people that will be there. So thank you for joining us. It's in the Dells. No, it's in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, I think it is. And then again, a week from tonight, so I will not be doing a show because I'll be doing another show live with James Van Prague, and we're going to have a great experience for everybody that is there live with us at the Gordon Center in Lake Forest, Illinois. So we're really excited about it because I love working with James. It's going to be very fun. So Debbie Griffin says, Kellee, my daughter was levitated on a mattress at her boyfriend's within 30 minutes after he left for work. What? And heard a man's voice say to get out. It frightened her so deeply that they broke up, mostly because he did not believe it happened. She drove nearly 2 hours home, talking to my late mother at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. She had a real experience, and we are not sure if that was a ghost on the land or a spirit. Debbie, when did this happen? Didn't I just see you and your daughter? When did this happen? Wait, my daughter was levitated on a mattress at her boyfriend's within 30 minutes after he left for work and heard a man's voice say to get out. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't, you know what? I have to really think about that one. She had a real experience, and we're not sure if that was a ghost on land or a spirit. Gosh. Well, I don't know, because levitation's a real thing. And depending on what your energy is too, there are people that have levitated. I mean, there just are. So I'm wondering if that was your daughter, but she heard a voice that said to get out. I had to think about that, Debbie. That is some story. My goodness. Okay, Holly Jameson says, I am seeing the numbers 111 or 1111 constantly. So, okay, 111 is all about new beginnings. It's something new, something new. And often what happens is before we are incarnated in this lifetime, we program certain numbers to remind us certain things about waking up. So 111, 1111 is all about new beginnings, waking up. It's about a spiritual awakening. So, and your birthday is 6/25, June 25th, which is a 5 of clubs. Now, 5 of clubs is wildly intuitive. They love a lot of freedom. They love a lot of freedom. If they're in a relationship, they have to have a lot of freedom. And you have to, if you are in a relationship, you have to be in a relationship with somebody that also likes a lot of freedom, because they like to be able to do their own thing. Very, very smart. And they're here to touch many, many lives. I've known many therapists actually that are 5 of clubs. Very, very important. Linda Kuhl says, what's a good way to raise your vibration? Great question, Linda. Well, first, start loving yourself, taking really good care of yourself, like really loving yourself. Sit in meditation. Have gratitude. Gratitude will raise that like that, like that. Go from any negative thought, work on it, and get to a positive thought. And sometimes this takes practice, but all of that raises your vibration, because really what you're doing is you're bringing in your higher self, and the energy is starting to rise up here, and your vibration starts to change. You think differently. You feel differently, you speak differently, you are more mindful. And so going out in nature is like a great way to raise your vibration. Walking barefoot is a great way outside. It helps to dispel negativity and negative energy, and to raise your vibration. So there are a lot of great ways to do that. So thank you. Mary Jane Callahan says, January 6th, and I would love a reading. So January 6th, that notorious day, is an 8 of spades. So 8 of spades is power. 8 of spades is power. I have known a few 8 of spades that were CEOs. They tend to run their own business. They're very wise, and it's power. It's all about power, how to use power in a really good way. So, Bonnie Russell says, so are spirits just in our heads? No, they're actually around. They can certainly come in and give us messages and get real close by, but they're a thought away. So they're, I am a medium where I, hear things, and I feel things, but I'm mostly auditory. I hear a lot, and I've really raised my vibration on that, helping me do that. So I hear really well. So is it in my head? No, it comes in that way, but they're not just in our head. Carol Zuber, do we reincarnate under the same sign? Not necessarily, Carol. I think that each incarnation is going to be different. So we'll learn something different from this, or doing something different from that. That's what I think. I don't think we would choose the same thing again. I mean, I just don't think so. But unless you really, really, really like that, but I can't imagine that. Hi, Christy Oucher. How are you? Can I have a card? Yes, here we go. Praying for a baby. Okay, let's get you a card from your daughter, honey. It was my time to go. So here you go. It was her time to go. So that's what she just wants to know. And she's also on the beach. I think she loves the water there. And I want to say Disneyland by the water with her. Okay. Let me see something else. Hold on a second. I have some other questions this was a good question. This is from Mary Russitar Vodka. She said, my birthday is 8/15, so August 15, which is a Jack of Clubs, a double Jack of Clubs, actually. Yes, you are a Jack of Clubs. Jack of Clubs are all about healers. They're really creative. They're very intuitive. She said, I want to know can celebrities that we're fans of give us a visitation in our dreams, even if we don't know them when they were alive? So if they had passed, I've had 2 dream visitations from Ben Orr from the Cars. One time he played keyboards and sang the song Drive to Me. Wow. And recently I dreamt that I played the keyboards to him. You must have really been a super fan. Singing Bohemian Rhapsody. And I know it sounds crazy, but when you can feel the keyboards and are so aware of the surroundings with your senses, it's amazing to me. I thought at first it was just a dream, but I found out that he did know how to play the keyboards. Could that happen? Yes, Mary, I think it is all possible. Yes, I do. And I also know somebody else that this happened to, not with Ben Orr from the Cars, but somebody else that I remember hearing the story that was kind of similar. So yeah, I think that absolutely can happen. Lori Counts says, hi, Lori. She says, though I don't often comment, I have to say, since losing my beloved father in 2022, the orbs that my photography picks up in the daytime are more frequent. And it's true. I've seen some of your pictures. They're unbelievable. The veil is very thin. And she said, I feel like there's an evolution on a cellular level. Yes. As well as solar plexus level. Yes, I agree, Lori. And she wants to know if anybody else is feeling this way. I feel that the veil is very thin and that we're going to see all kinds of things that, we might not have seen before. So I think that's important. And Ruth Strazzard says, good morning, Kellee. She says, a long time ago, I was very sick and close to death. And when that happened, I saw my mother who had passed away. She appeared as a dark figure dressed in a hospital gown, what she looked like before she passed. She said, I wasn't afraid. I just knew she was watching over me. And I thought she was worried. She said, I don't know why that would present herself like that because she's in heaven with my father. But she said, I was wondering, was that a message that I needed to go to the hospital? And she said, which is what I did the next day. And I said, yes, Lori, that was definitely one of those things. Our loved ones will give us messages through our dreams. Again, pay attention to your dreams because you just don't know, what insight you might glean for that. So I think that's really, really important. And, let's see. Kimmy Burker. Hi, Kimmy. You're amazing, and I'm so thankful I found you. Yay! Thanks, honey. I'd love a card. I lost a daughter and a son. What? That's way too much loss. And it's been quite a challenge for me for many years. And your birthday is 11/3. Yes, hold on a second. Let me see. 11/3, just for a second. 11/3. Oh, gosh. I'll be darned. It is a 4 of diamonds, which is a solid working. You must have worked your ass off during all of these periods. Oh my God. But you also come in with a King of Spades as a rising sign. Now, a King of Spades as a rising, I always look at both the birth card and the rising because it gives me a more of a picture. When I do a whole chart, there's a whole picture of everybody. But at this moment, what's important is the King of Spades there. Because a King of Spades, when I see a King of Spades, I know that soul comes in will be protected and will be going through some deep things. That King of Spades means the king of everything. And means that you would have taken in an awful lot, honey. So I'm sorry that you went through all of that. Let's get cards from your kids here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here you go. They send you a lot of loving signs through nature. So I would say look for butterflies. Definitely look at butterflies because they are around you. Your children are definitely around you. And I have chills when I say this. And they want to say they're with a grandmother. They've been with their grandmother. So I think that's really important for you to know. Okay. All right, honey. Much love to you. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Well, everybody, so I will not be here next week. But, I have the greatest thing before I go. I have to tell you this. I have to go. I have to tell you this. So on Monday, we have a show. It's unbelievable. We have a guest on our show with James Van Prague called Life After Death and Beyond with James. And we have a guest, and her name is Jessica Waite. That's her last name, Jessica Waite, Waite. She has a new book out. Now, let me just say, I know everybody's getting all these books that I keep talking about, and they're all so good. It's up there with listening to music and now reading. That's a great place to go with your energy. But she wrote a book. Oh my God. I actually have a copy of it, and I can't put it down. Like in between people, I have to read this book. It's so good. It's called, oh my God, you have to watch this show Monday. It's called The Widow's Guide to Dead Bastards. The Widow's Guide to Dead Bastards. It turns out, I'm not blowing the story. We're going to be talking about the story. She was in a marriage for 17 years, loved her husband very much, and then found out after that, after he passed suddenly of a heart attack at the airport, that he had done a lot of crazy ass things that he should never have done. And so it's interesting because she was very betrayed. And so the topic is going to be about betrayal at death, like what happens. And I have had a few clients that actually have had this experience, both from the female side and the male side, so it's kind of interesting to me. It's fascinating to me, but she writes really well. And this is, it's from Simon & Schuster. And I predict, and they've been talking about this too, that it is going to be like Eat, Pray, Love on a different level. So I cannot wait to have her on. And she's going to be giving away a book. So please watch us on Monday for our show on Monday with Life After Death and Beyond with James Van Prague and me. And it's going to be a great show. I'm so excited. And no tornado is going to keep me away from that show. Anyway. All right, everybody. Take care, my friends. And I will see you not next week, but the week after.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.